Okay, so we're going to look at graphing with a graphing calculator. We want to find the key features of a quadratic graph using our graphing calculator. So what we're going to do to begin with is we need to draw a graph. So to draw a graph, we have to have a graph page. I'm here on the calculator page at the moment, and I want to press Control and Add Page. It's here above Docs. You can see where it's going red there on my keyboard, and that lets us add a graph page. The function pops up automatically when we do that, and we can type the function in. We can take this function here, which is x squared plus 4x plus 4. So we want x squared, look where the keyboard's going squared, plus 4x plus 4. Then, oops, I've not quite got that right. Plus 4. And then we press enter, and it will draw the graph for us. Next up, what we need to do is we're going to, using the graph, we're going to find the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is here on the graph where, so it's the y-intercept is going to be here. Let me get a pen. Y-intercept is going to be here on the graph. The point it crosses the y-axis. Now, where it crosses the y-axis, the x value is 0. So everywhere on the y-axis, the x value is 0. So we can find this point by pressing Menu, Trace, Trace Graph. Then at that point, you don't see anything necessarily happening on the graph. You want to press 0, just 0 on the keyboard, and then this x equals appears. We can press Enter. If you press Enter a second time, it will record that point for you. It's still in the typing mode. We can see this in the top left corner of the screen of the graph. So sometimes it'll act funny at this point because it's still tracing. So what you need to do is you press the escape button and that will move, and then your cursor will move around nicely the way you're expecting it to do. If I want to move something out of the way to read it, I move the cursor over the thing I want to move and I get the grabby hand. When you get the grabby hand, you press and hold here in the center, and then it will lock down on the thing that you're grabbing. So you get there, grab that, and the hand should close around it. On my touch screen board, it's not working, so let me try it on the computer. Grabby hand. Get the cursor going there. Press in the center of the keyboard. And then it will should let me move it. Okay. So now we want to find the vertex. Is it a minimum or a maximum, this one? It's a minimum, comes down. We can't on the calculator find a vertex. We can find a minimum or a maximum. We have to tell it which one. So this procedure, we press Menu, Analyze Graph, find the minimum. Then we get these two bars that appear, and we have to move them to the left of where the minimum occurs, then to the right of where the minimum occurs. We do that by stroking the keypad across like this. We stroke on this keypad till we get to the left of where it happens, and then we click. This, in the bottom left corner here where it says lower bound, it changes to upper bound. So then when you scroll across in the other direction, it will find the minimum. When you're done, you click, and it will give you the minimum point there like that. We can see that's at minus 2.0. So we can use that information in order to identify the key features of a graph. So let me do a new one. Follow me along for this one. So we want to find the y-intercept, the coordinates of the vertex, the axis of symmetry, and the range for the graph given here. We have y equals x squared plus 3. So what you need to do at this point, you might have something drawn on the graph. So we can press Menu, Actions, Delete Everything. Yes, delete everything. Gives me a nice clean screen. To pull up the function, I can press the Tab button. This appears, and it lets us type in here. So we type in the equation that we see. This one is x squared plus 3, and we press Enter, and it draws the graph. If you can't see the graph, one of the useful features that's hardest to learn is to change the axes. Let's say we want to see more of the axes going up in this direction. So what we can do is you can click here you can put your cursor over this part of the axis, change that number from 6 to 20, and press enter. And it will extend the axis upwards in that direction and let us see more of that part of the graph if we want to. That's the part of the graph we want to see. So now we need to find the y-intercept. How do we find the y-intercept? We press Menu, Trace, Trace Graph, Menu 5, 1. Then we type on the keyboard the 0 and press enter twice. This gives us the y-intercept. We're asked to sketch our curve, so our curve looks like this. Here is our y-intercept at 0, 3. Is that the minimum? It probably is. So if we press Menu, Analyze Graph, find the minimum, and move to the left-hand side and click, move to the right-hand side and click, we see that this is also 0, 3. We've got both of our two things at 0, 3. So filling in the key features of the graph, the y-intercept is at 3. The vertex is at 0, 3. The axis of symmetry is x equals 0, and the range is y is greater than or equal to 3. Okay.